But this is The Walking Dead game, The Value of Protecting Innocence by JoshuaTXI, Tequila. My motherfucker that I love bullying, but he be hitting me up with the best advice of all time, so I'm not gonna bully him as much. I got it. I just haven't played it. But yeah, The Walking Dead game, The Value of Protecting Innocence. If you like the last video he did that I reacted to, which was in relation to Resident Evil 7, let's see if you like this one. He said he got some hot takes in this one, and I might beat his ass for some of the stuff he say, but regardless, let's get into it. I'm gonna talk a little bit, but I'm not over him too much. And I'm gonna try not to cry. And just a reminder that this game takes place in my home fucking town of Macon, Georgia. This is also the first game I've ever cried to. Motherfucker, most of it is in Macon. Fight me. I literally lived in downtown Macon where they were. They were in downtown Macon in the beginning. Shut up.
On a humid summer day in Atlanta, Georgia, Lee Everett sits shackled in the back of a police car, the weight of his recent conviction heavy on his mind. He's been charged with murder, a senator, caught in a scandalous affair with Lee's wife. The prospect of years behind bars looms heavy and final as the car cruises down the empty highway. The silence inside the vehicle is broken only by the officer's awkward attempts at small talk. Lee, lost in his thoughts, is hardly interested, merely enduring the man's chatter. Over the radio, faint voices crackle, mentioning a 1091E, code for an animal attack. The police scanner buzzes with increasingly frantic codes, reports of serious injuries, trauma cases multiplying by the minute. Squad cars blur past, heading urgently into the city, but the officer dismisses it all. Suddenly, a figure stumbles into their path. The officer, distracted, swerves too late, colliding head-on.
Wait, you black? Anyway, when I played this for the first time when I was a kid, because I was really young when it came out, I was terrified as fuck every time. That jump scared me every time.
When Lee regains consciousness, he's alone in the wreck. The officer's lifeless form sprawled just beyond the broken windshield. Dazed and injured, Lee crawls through a shattered window and reaches the officer's body, only for the corpse to jump back to life. Lee scrambles, fumbling with the officer's shotgun, and just in time, fires.
I said I'm Mexican!
Don't make me do this!
The blast echoes through the quiet woods, shattering the stillness and drawing the attention of both the dead and a young girl nearby. Barely managing to evade the approaching walkers, Lee hobbles towards a nearby house, vaulting over a fence with what little strength he has left. Inside, he searches frantically, hoping to find supplies or survivors. His eyes settle on a family answering machine, its lights blinking. Playing back the recorded messages, he listens to the desperate voices of parents.
Hey Sandra, this is Diana. We're still in Savannah. Ed had a little incident with some crazy guy near the hotel, so we had to get him back to the ER and have it checked out. Anyway, he's not feeling well enough to drive back tonight, so we're staying an extra day. Thanks so much for looking after Clementine, and I promise we'll be back in time before your spring break.
Message 3, left at 6:51 a.m.
Clementine, baby. If you can hear this, call the police. That's 911. We love you. We love you.
The main thing about this game that affected me so much as a kid, having this connection, I always had a fear of losing something really bad happening and my parents getting taken away from me like this, like it happened to Clementine, and not having somebody like Lee to come along. So this from the jump, it did wrap me in. I was afraid. I've always put myself into situations. I've always had dreams of shit like this happen, like a zombie apocalypse happens, and my parents going, "What do I do? I'm alone. I'm small." I'm like, so that the one thing that always hits to me, and the fact that it's in my home state, and it comes right where I used to live. Down where they're the store, they're downtown Macon. I used to live in downtown Macon, like around that area, and it looks like it does in real life. So this game really affected me in a way that like it took a while for another game too. So this is a very important game to me.
We love you.
I feel that
Learning
big
the
time.
little girl's name, Clementine, and realizing she was left under the care of a babysitter. The silence is broken as a static crackle comes from the walkie-talkie nearby. A faint, trembling voice, Clementine's, breaks through, and Lee, despite the surreal chaos around him, speaks gently, assuring her of his good intentions, trying to establish a fragile connection.
Only if you choose not to play like an asshole.
Clementine reveals she's been hiding in her treehouse alone, but before they can say any more, Sandra, her babysitter, lurches from the shadows, lunging at Lee. They struggle, a chaotic clash of survival instincts and desperation, until Clementine bravely steps in to help, allowing Lee to deliver the final fatal blow to Sandra. As Sandra's body falls, Clementine's eyes widen, a mix of horror and innocence shattered. She trembles, asking if it's dead, her voice quivering with confusion and fear. Lee, seeing the shock in her young eyes, gently explains, sensing this may be her first glimpse into this grim, altered world. Lee,
Again, only if you choose not to play like an asshole. I could never do that. I could never play asshole Lee. I could never.
recognizes her distress, reassures her, gathering the frightened girl close. Clementine has been alone, surviving, waiting in the shadow of unknowing terror, and Lee's presence becomes her first hint of safety. This moment of fragile calm is soon interrupted by a choice he must make, whether to leave immediately with the girl or to wait for the cover of night. As the camera zooms in, it doesn't show Lee's face, it shows Clementine's. This decision, like so many that will follow, isn't about Lee, it's about Clementine.
Like what other game? The Last of Us. But taking Joel out of the game and putting Ellie up first, even though she's the main character from the fucking jump, is such a sin. Shut the fuck. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Lee, though he may not realize it yet, has become her protector, her guardian. From here on out, every choice, every sacrifice will be about keeping Clementine safe in a world gone dead.
Bro, I dislike this fucking video so quick. Don't try me.
Lee Everett is a fascinating character, a blank slate. When we first step into his shoes, we only know 3 things. He's a convicted murderer, his parents owned a pharmacy, and now he's responsible for the life of an innocent child. As players, it's up to us to guide Lee from his troubled past towards becoming the hero we want him to be. Every decision, no matter how small, carries the weight of shaping his influence on Clementine. Early on, when survivors question Lee, he calls himself just some guy.
Safer there.
I'm not a dad. I'm just some guy.
Some guy?
Yeah.
Again, only if you play. Well, that's not an asshole move. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. But that's a good line.
It's one of my favourite lines because at this point, that's exactly what he is. From here, he begins his journey with Clementine. Soon, they encounter Kenny and his family, a mirror image of what Lee could become. Like Lee, Kenny is simply just some guy protecting his family, yet their paths diverge dramatically, a reminder of how easily Lee's story could have taken a darker turn. I'll dive deeper into this contrast in the next chapter.
Brother, you let Duck die? What's wrong with you? Why you let Duck die? Fuck you shot Duck for? No, why you let him die? Why you didn't let Herschel's son die? Oh, that's later in the game. My fault. I forgot. My fault. It's been a while. Shut the fuck up. Shh.
Although the game has hundreds of choices, it can actually be broken down into two main scenarios: Clementine present and Clementine not present. The game does an excellent job of making us look inward through Clementine's innocent gaze. We often act differently around her, shielding her from the darkness of our choices. Some choices highlight this bias directly. For example, at the farm, we're tested early on in how we view Clementine's innocence. A simple prompt asks whether to swear in front of her or use a softer word.
Manure.
Manure? Like when a horse plops?
Just like that.
This choice, seemingly minor, actually gets brought up against you later if you choose to swear. It's a
I was always honest with Clementine, even if it was too dark to present her. No, I would have been like, somebody smell like shit. That would have been me.
subtle shock to players who thought it was unimportant. A tougher decision comes when you must choose to save Duck or Herschel's son, the same boy you assured you were just some guy. This is the first time Clementine will witness a living human being die, a reminder that no matter how hard you try, she's bound to see awful things. There are many powerful choices in my personal favourite episode, episode 2, Starved for Help, when we discover the St. John family are cannibals who dismembered Mark and try to feed his legs to the group. When a scuffle traps you in a meat locker, a hostile character, Larry, suffers a heart attack. Kenny argues that Larry, likely dead, must be prevented from turning. Do you assist Kenny in a brutal choice to protect the group, or do you exhaust every option to save Larry, risking everyone else? Clementine is present during this choice, heightening its weight. But the next decision, in my opinion, is one of the game's greatest moments. After escaping the meat locker, you confront Danny, one of the cannibal brothers, and face the choice to kill or spare him. Danny is evil, a killer, and a cannibal who shows no remorse. Clementine isn't present for this choice. Or so you think. The game uses this moment to expose our true nature. If you choose to kill Danny with a pitchfork to the heart, you discover that Clementine actually saw you do it. It's a phenomenal twist, forcing you to confront whether, without her presence, you would have become a monster yourself. The same choice is given for the other brother.
I'm gonna keep it a stack though. I murdered it. That's not murder. I killed the hell out of these fucking cannibals, bro. Fuck them. I know what it looked like, but like at the same time, it's like they also like try to feed people. You know, you catch me? Fuck Lily, because let's keep it a buck. She a grown woman. And it's like, past a certain point, you got to realize what you're doing is wrong, right? Anything to protect Columbia, but you got to realize what you're doing is fucking wrong, right? Hear me out. And Lily just like, she didn't call her dad out and she didn't try nothing, right? So fuck her too. And personally, Clementine needed to be exposed to the world that they're in, because if Lee was to like die earlier and some shit happened, she wouldn't know what the fuck to do. I know, but at the same time, who gives a fuck? Because being a convicted killer in the zombie apocalypse probably help y'all big time. I agree, but sometimes people hold their parents way too. Facts. And I'm different. She should have been like me. That's what I'm saying. She had many chances to say, fuck this, I'm gonna go with you. But then she was like, nah.
Where you can choose to go back and finish him off or leave him. Clementine will see you do both.
Get back here and finish this, Lee! Get back here and fight me like a man, Lee! Lee!
Still in episode 2, we face the decision to steal from an abandoned car. Starving survivors and no owner in sight make the choice practical, but Clementine's moral compass is at stake. Do you prioritize the group's survival at the risk of harming others, or let the supplies be, staying true to Clementine's values? In my opinion, episode 2 is the ultimate test of morality. Are you a different person when Clementine is around? Do you teach her selfish ruthlessness, or instill in her the values of a lost world? Though, don't mistake me for thinking your morals only get put to the test in episode 2.
I'm gonna keep it a stack. Facts. The way I see The Walking Dead, the game and the show, there is no good guys. There is no bad guys. There are just survivors. There are some people who are more ruthless than others because in this world, like thinking of Rick, thinking about Lee, thinking about all the leaders, Shane, even Negan. It's like at the end of the day, they're doing things to protect. Yeah. I'm gonna let you get. We're gonna see this. They're doing things to protect their people, and in the end, your morality, I think the way that they do it is the main thing that I think the way they do it is, don't spoil your video for me, all right? The main thing that they do, yeah, all you have is a moral, but the main thing that they do is the way they do it. Like, if Negan was like, oh shit, man, you killed my men, I gotta make you pay for that. Like, we can't have this going on. I have to make an example or else my people are the morale is gonna shoot low, all right? The morale is going to shoot low, and I'm going to just have to take care of business. Now, I don't want to do this to y'all, but this is how it is. You kill my man. If he did it like that, obviously, everybody's going to be mad at him. And two, instead of bashing a motherfucker in the head with a bat, if he just like pulled out a gun and shot him, or he just executed him quickly and wasn't laughing, people would probably be like, ah, shit, I completely understand, right? But the way that he was like, ha, 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 you know? But then when Rick killed motherfuckers, he's just like, bro, I gotta protect my people. It's like, we understand that more, but it's really not even a morale. Sometimes you gotta do the same exact thing. It's just how you do it. I could survive. I'm very empathetic, but I know how to cut that shit off real fast to protect myself and my people. So I guess I would do well. But I can't wait. I just love the discussion of The Walking Dead and The Last of Us, bro. Both of those, like, I don't give a fuck what you say about The Last of Us Part 2. The Last of Us Part 2 goes so far into morality and into our biases towards certain characters and how we feel because we had to cut a bitch off facts. Facts, fam. You a real one. It dives so deeply into our morality and our biases as players towards a character that we know is in the wrong, but we love this character so much that we automatically root for the character who's in the wrong to succeed when the character that's in the right that we don't like is this. I love that. In The Walking Dead, it's the same. Why the fuck do we like Negan? Right? Of course, Negan is a lot more likable than Abby, but why the fuck do we like Negan? Days Gone, I might not be halfway through Days Gone or getting close. I really like it a lot, but it's just like there's so much there that the thing is, before I played The Last of Us Part 2, and we're going to get back to this. I think this is just a great survival horror example. 1 second. I'm going to hit my sister with, can I call you later? Because I'm busy at the moment. But, so my nephew's birthday is today. He's just turned 6. But the thing about all of this is when I first thought about, I might actually be the one to make The Last of Us 2 video because I feel like there's been so many videos shitting on it, and I think that people just need to grow up and examine things. For me, playing The Last of Us 2 for the first time, I had the same biases that everyone has against it. When I played it for myself, I actually found myself enjoying Abby's parts of the game a lot more than I did Ellie's. And that's strange to say because it was supposed to be the opposite way. No, I didn't. I didn't watch the documentary. I ended up enjoying Abby's parts of the game a lot better. It was something about her journey with, yeah, they do. It was her journey with finding Lev and going through the shit that she goes through. I will say the flashbacks and stuff like that wasn't my favorite, but being out in the wild with her, going through was it Ellie that went through the apartments? What did we go through with Abby? Just going through all of that stuff with Abby and then standing up to the dude, the homie, the big bad, and then going through everything. Listen, it mirrors, yes, Lev and Abby, it mirrors him so well. And the thing is, people like to draw this big disconnect between the Walking Dead and The Last of Us. But they are very similar in ways. And they have they pose the same exact issues with morality and biases. And I love that about the whole Walking Dead franchise and The Last of Us. It really opened my eyes. Yeah, it opened my eyes to human morality and how we act and stuff like that. It's beautiful. Hell yeah, brother. I hear that Statue of Liberty accent. I like it. You're in my follow. I appreciate you, Titus. I appreciate you. Welcome in. We discussing we discussing the post-apocalyptic side of things when kind of morale goes out and you got to do what you got to do to survive. It's all in survival, you know. Abby's chose to survive, you know. Lee, I mean, maybe he chose to let Clem survive because he knew it was her in the end. It's like, yeah, bro, why are you spoiling the video for yourself? All right, let's continue. The ethics of the apocalypse. I love that so much. It's something that everything that does it right, I'm happy about it.
Episodes 3 and 4 present arguably harsher, more complex decisions that force you to confront your view on human life. In episode 3, you face a tough dilemma. In a scenario where Clementine isn't present, would you let a woman suffer a slow, agonizing death to buy yourself more time to scavenge supplies? And later with Lily, after she murders a group member in a fit of paranoia.
And see, this is what I mean by fuck Lily. Ain't no redeeming qualities about her. Killed a bit. All right.
Do you abandon her to an uncertain and likely grim fate? These choices differ from those with the St.
You cap her ass on spot. That's what you do.
John's. You're not ending life directly, but leaving it to a potentially crueler end. Then there's episode 4, which delivers one of the most agonizing moral tests involving Ben, a stupid teenager who's caused irreparable harm. From making a secret deal with bandits that gets Duck and Katja killed, to abandoning Clementine in a moment of danger, Ben's mistakes pile up. The tension comes to a head.
Look, I'm gonna just be real. Like, Lee got that damn Southern hospitality. I would have let it. I would have let my hand out, caught that motherfucker, and then be like, "Hey, bitch, drop that bitch." Like, splat. Listen, man, you have no idea. Like, cowards in the apocalypse piss me off, bro. Like, Rick in the show, Shane was right the whole time. He was just a bit loony with it. He was a bit loony, you know. He was a bit Looney Tunes. All right, but he was right about a lot. He just had the Fruit Loops loose, right? Rick learned that real quick, and Rick turned into Shane. Just a bit more sane sometimes, not all the time. When he do that little head tilt, when he's like, he bite the nigga throat out. I feel that. Sometimes you got to do that though to survive. Taint it, me.
When you're forced to decide whether to let him fall to his death or pull him up and offer him a chance at redemption, do you condemn a reckless but young and well-meaning kid for his mistakes?
Yes.
Or do you find it in yourself to forgive and believe in his potential to change? Lee.
This is why motherfuckers die in the apocalypse, because they so forgiving and they're like, oh, he's just a kid who'll do better. Drop that motherfucker. Let him perish. Let that be thy will. Let his youth be the reason that he dies because he's stupid. Because I'm going to keep it a buck. Clem ain't stupid and she younger. I don't give a damn. Fuck Ben. I'll miss out on anything to make sure Ben die. I swear to God. In the game, though. In the game. We're not talking about real life.
He may be just some guy, but his journey is a reflection of our own moral code. Every choice reveals how far we're willing to suppress our inner darkness for Clementine's sake. In a world without laws, it's her presence that keeps us grounded, stopping us from becoming like the monsters around us.
Y'all, look, if I was in the apocalypse, I would be an evil ass nigga. I would say, y'all would look at me like that. But in the reality, if y'all didn't have me, y'all would be like, damn, we need Mike because we getting fucked over. Guarantee you, if Shane was still alive and up in that bitch, Negan wouldn't have stood a damn chance in hell. I don't give a damn what Clementine say. That's the thing. Look, children don't understand what's better for them, because you could be like, oh, let him live, but he getting people killed. Hell nah, you too soft. Maybe I'm just because I'm from the South. I'm from America. We hard over there. Fuck that. I ain't saving that bitch ass motherfucker. I'm gonna be like, yo, Clem, he was a danger. He was a danger. He was a danger. Shane would have fucked Abe up. Shane was literally the strongest member of the group. If he wasn't crazy, Shane would have been on top of that. If it wasn't for Shane, nobody would have fucking survived at the beginning. Officer Friendly was too friendly. Nah. Shane was a fucking beast. Shane would have fucked Negan shit up. Negan would have been so afraid of that. Shane would have never, like, if he was less crazy, Shane wouldn't have let that shit happen, bro. People be underestimating Shane, bro. Bro. Hell nah, bro. Shane was the hardest motherfucker in that bitch. I ain't never seen Daryl bite a nigga throat out before. I ain't never seen Abe bite a nigga throat out before. The fucking Shane would have bit a nigga throat out before Rick would have. Shane would do, bro. If Shane was less crazy, that's the thing though. He had to be less crazy. If Shane could think like Rick could think, but just kept that same ferocity, bro, Shane would have fucked Beta up. He didn't have the opportunity to, because his craziness let him die early because of Rick, because he was trying to fuck his bitch, and he did. He had a baby. But if it wasn't for all of that, bro, Shane is crazy. I love Daryl. Don't get me wrong. I love Daryl. I'm not saying that I don't like these other characters. I love Abe. I love Daryl. But motherfuckers, listen, if it wasn't for Shane, Rick would not be here where he is now today. Shane saved that motherfucker life while being in death. Why you think they had that flashback and he was like, man, you right. You was right, Shane. You was right. And I know that's not my daughter. He was like, yeah, man. Hey, lucky she ain't got my damn ears, do she? She got them elephant ears. And he was like, yeah, man. Damn. He was like, what Rick say? Stop acting like you know the way, like you know the rules. There is no rule, man. We're lost. He said, nah, man, I know exactly where I am. You don't know shit anymore. Shane didn't go to Paris and fight zombies because Shane didn't need no damn stupid ass spinoff that nobody watching. But that's just no shade, though. That's no shade. All I'm saying is there wouldn't be a show if Shane was still alive, because Shane would have fucked everybody up. I know, because I'm from Georgia, my dad. They in Georgia. They doing the Georgia accent. Man, Shane would have been like, yo. I love Sam Porter Bridges, bro. I'm just saying, you sleeping on Shane, bro. Shane would have soloed every motherfucker, bro. Bro. You really think Shane would have let Negan come in there and fuck him in the throat? Not even to put it like that, but like he really said, I put my dick down your throat, and you thanked me for it. Shane would have cut that motherfucker throat up, bro. Shane would have fucked his shit up. Last words, it ain't. I guarantee you, it ain't better than damn. Yeah, you remember because Negan went up on him and was like, "I just slid my dick down your throat and you thank me for it." That's what he said in the show. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, Shane would not have stood for that shit, bro. Look, if it was down to it, nah, Shane would have been like, "Come on, Rick, man, this how it is now. Negan knows the way. We gotta be ruthless, man." You know why? He would have respected Negan, but the thing is, Shane's ego was too big to let another motherfucker come in there and take his python away like he took Rick's python away, bro. Shane wouldn't have let that happen. Shane was not gonna let nobody dictatorship over him or whatever you want to fucking call it. Shane was that motherfucker. Look, all I'm gonna say is, if Shane was still alive, what I'm saying is, if Shane wasn't a horny little bitch and didn't try to fuck everybody girl, I'm just saying that Shane would have managed to outlast everybody, right? Shane would have literally changed the dynamics of the whole game, right? Only if Shane was less horny and like less crazy though. But like, think about this: if let's just say if Shane if Negan saw Shane and Abraham, he gonna look at Shane, the crazy look in that motherfucker eyes when he looking in the mirror. He's like, you don't know what I've been through, Rick. I'm a better father than you. Like when bro rubbed the back of his head, bro, Negan would have saw that shit. He would have been scared. He like, oh, I gotta get rid of this motherfucker before I get rid of Abraham, bro. That's what I'm saying. Shane, bro, y'all need to rewatch season 1, bro. Shane, nah, bro, nah, bro, nah, man. You don't know what you talking about, man. Shane, man, nah, Rick, you don't know what you talking about, dog. Bro, man, you don't know what you talking about. Shane would have fucked the shit up. Shane would have killed him on impact, bro. He wouldn't have found himself on his knees with a bat in the back of his. Shane would have fucked him up, bro. Stand on that, Shane.
However, what Lee and the player both don't know is that every decision has been fuel against you for an unknown stranger with a vendetta. One who seeks to take Clementine away from you. That stranger is no other than the owner of the car you could have stolen from in episode 2.
That's no. Okay, last thing I'm gonna say. All I'm saying is, get this point, right? Get this point. I got a question. Answer my question. I'm standing up for this shit. Answer my question. If, look at me. If Rick did not turn into Shane when he needed to turn into Shane, would Rick and his people will be alive still? Would Rick have managed to flip the script on Negan for getting more ruthless and shit? Growing out his big ass beard. Would he have flipped the script? Would he have been able to do that if he didn't channel the inner strain? Nah, man. You ain't answering the question. You trying to shift the narrative. If Rick did not have his inner Shane, would he and his people, Carl, Michonne, Daryl, would they have survived? No. He did turn into Shane. You know why? That's all we need to know. Shane would have fucked the governor up. Shane would have fucked Negan up. They would have been very afraid of him. I rest my case. I'm correct. All right, let's continue this. I'm leaving that in the VOD. He's fucking amazing. John Berthold, bro. One of my favorite actors.
Before we talk about the stranger, I'd like to go over the Mirror Kenny theory first, as I believe it's extreme.
If this is in any way related to how you feel about Shane, this is about to be the assest theory ever. But nah. Rick would have, not fucking Rick. Shane would have fucked the governor up earlier.
Extremely important as a contrast to the stranger's morals and meaning. Firstly, let me quickly explain the theory. The Mirror Kenny theory suggests that Kenny's decisions and actions serve as a reflection of what Lee might become if he let his role as protector override his morality. Kenny and Lee both carry the responsibility of shielding their loved ones from the horrors of this world, but Kenny's choices, often ruthless and morally ambiguous, reflect a path Lee could easily take if not careful. Kenny is willing to make ruthless decisions in private if it means keeping his family safe, and also often out of the loop, even shielding Duck from the darker side of survival. At Herschel's farm, Kenny's actions reveal this impulse. He saves Duck and flees, rather than exposing his son to the violence that unfolds, leading to Sean's death, even killing Larry in the locker room.
I'm sorry, you know what's crazy about that? Like, he was shooting his son from there, but when he turned around and started running, he was looking over his shoulder and could see it still.
Is something he might never have done had Duck been watching. Kenny's need to protect Duck's innocence drives him to darker choices, yet it also distances him from reality. When Duck is bitten, Kenny's emotional state shatters, highlighting the fragile mirror between him and Lee. Lee's immediate reaction is to imagine Clementine as a walker, underscoring the fear of losing her. After Duck's death, Kenny becomes a hollow shell of the father he once was, consumed consumed by anger and sorrow, a clear picture of what Lee himself might become if he loses Clementine. This is where Chuck's advice to Lee comes into play.
Chuck
When
need a fucking
Chuck
shower,
blatantly
bruh.
tells Clementine she'll die if unprepared after witnessing Duck's death and Kenny's undoing, it forces Lee to realize that while protecting Clementine's innocence is important, it's also essential to prepare her for the world she faces. Unlike Kenny, Lee cannot shy away from the hard truths. He takes the responsibility of teaching Clementine how to use a gun and advising her to keep her hair short. These choices carry heavy implications, pushing Lee to question his own values and hope he's imparted the right morals. The game asks, would Clementine know when to defend herself, when to show mercy? Characters like Duck and the screaming girl at the pharmacy challenge us to consider the weight of every decision Lee makes in shaping her understanding of right and wrong. Now that we've explored the Mirror Kenny theory,
I like that a lot because it didn't feel like a theory, it felt like facts. I'll say that. Now, what I will say, don't laugh at me. I will say, for example, let's say if Lee was to act like Shane, I will say this. I think Clementine would have been a fucking tyrant. I never said Shane was right completely. Okay, all I'm saying is that, and like if Shane was to raise Carl would have been a fucking tyrant. What I'm pretty much saying is like the ruthlessness. I think in the apocalypse you do need it a lot. That's the whole point of me just saying that about Shane. I think the ruthlessness. You see, you ain't even listening, motherfucker. I was telling you, I was explaining what I was saying. I'm explaining what I'm saying. It's not really about Shane, but what I'm saying is like in the apocalypse, there needs to be a balance because you got to be ruthless at times. You have to be willing to be ruthless. You have to be willing to make decisions that the world would call bad to survive. But if you don't do that, if you're too peaceful, as you see with certain characters, you will perish. You have to find a balance between that. I will have to bite somebody's throat out. I have to do this and traumatize myself and other people for survival. But if I don't do this, traumatize myself and other people, then me and my people, we perish painfully. And what's the point? So I do think that's what I love about the apocalypse is in like from The Last of Us to this game to the show. It's just what do you do? What do you do? How do you do this? Like to be looked at as evil, or to be looked at and live, you know, and or to be looked at as holy and die. What's the yeah. This is the beautiful thing about this, and that's why I get so passionate about The Last of Us 2. Why I get so passionate about talking about characters like Negan and Shane, in which you can argue that they aren't as bad as you would think, and that Rick and Negan are kind of parallels. You can argue that big time. You can argue that. So I love, and that's what I love. You couldn't do this if this was like John Wick. I'm not gonna say, oh, the guy that killed John Wick's dog was actually not that bad. No, that's different because it's not the apocalypse, and that's clearly. But like in this world, let's say if Lee came across a dog that started attacking him and Clementine, and he ends up, you know, shooting it, then it's like the dude pops up and you killed my dog, but it's like I was trying to protect Clem. It's completely different. I go with the mindset to be merciful and just. People who are bad by accident, hell no, I disagree with that bit. Because people who run accidents, continue. Bro, if a motherfucker bring bandits to my fucking place with the people that I'm trying to protect, you gotta go. I don't give a damn fuck. Merciful is the opposite of what you be in apocalypse. You should only be, mercy is what fucks people up all the time in apocalypse. That's a different word you gotta look for, bro. There's a different word. You have to be thoughtful and careful about situations. I don't think there's room for mercy in the apocalypse. I will forgive Negan for killing Glenn. I love Glenn, but you also have to remember how much blood that Glenn and Abraham and Rick and all of his people had on their hands for walking into the camp and just slaughtering all of Negan's men. See, why you spoil it though? Mercy, bro, like I'm not saying that you shouldn't just like oh I'm gonna spare you. No. What I'm saying is with Ben, he had to go. Imagine you're Lee and you're protecting Clementine and there's a potential. Like he left Clementine He brought people. How many times did he put Clem in danger? Imagine if you had a son or a daughter and that motherfucker continuously puts your child in danger. Are you going to really say, oh, I'm going to keep him around because he's young and dumb and we can fix him? Fuck no. You think about that like it's a show, but whenever I think about these realities, that's why I love post-apocalyptic things. I think about it from a point of mind in my head. Like, if this was a reality, I'm going to evaluate this. I'm going to evaluate the real things. Clem is a child, so I would say that Clem wouldn't really value that decision, because if she said that and then she gets killed, what do you say then? I don't care if Kenny agreed. Kenny got his own shit. It boils down to the potential, the possibilities I think what the thing is, you take less risks in a situation like this, man. You take less risks because the world is already a risk enough. To breathe is a risk. You have to take less risks in the apocalypse. I do not feel like that in life right now because we're not in the apocalypse. But when it comes to shit like this, where you are already surrounded and any risk can be the end right away, nah, man, you gotta be more ruthless for it, you know? Like, you gotta. And it's like I said, I wouldn't make these decisions right now in life because it's stupid. But with these situations, it's always a what if he didn't try to save Clem? What if he didn't? Yeah, dead ass, but you can still make mistakes for actually making the right decision. That's the thing. What's the point? I don't give a damn. Shit, Krista died.
Let's turn to the stranger. The stranger, as you'll remember, is the man who owned the abandoned car in episode 2. If you choose to take the supplies from the car, it's his first reason to pursue Lee and Clementine. But regardless of whether you steal from him, it's actually Lee's choices throughout the journey that ultimately convinced the stranger that Lee is a danger to Clementine. This is where the contrast between Kenny and Lee makes the Mirror Kenny theory so crucial. While Kenny avoids many tough decisions, it's Lee's hard choices that become evidence against him in the stranger's eyes. Every morally ambiguous decision Lee makes, and every mistake along the way, becomes fuel for the stranger's belief that Lee is unfit to protect Clementine. Through her conversations on the radio, Clementine unknowingly shares these details with the stranger, recounting events she's seen but might not fully understand. The stranger questions Lee's choices, stealing supplies, abandoning or killing others, exposing Clementine to violence, endangering her life, and, of course, Lee's past as a convicted killer. This moment forces Lee to reflect. Has he been a worthy protector? Has he become monstrous enough that the stranger's judgment is valid? The stranger may be clearly deranged, but it's Lee's impact on Clementine that determines whether the stranger's accusations feel delusional or, in some ways, justified. Kenny, on one hand, arguably doesn't act enough, while Lee, depending on your choices, may act too often and too ruthlessly. Lee can cross lines, becoming hard-hearted and even as ruthless as the villains he fights.
So it's such a difficult decision because I get both sides, right? I guess for me, I'm always thinking, because we have seen it in this show and with the game in the show and in different post-apocalyptic things that actually happen to be good. How many times has a character been spared and then they come back? Yeah, come on now. How could you ignore Carly? Facts. I left her alive thinking that something would happen, but then you know what happened. Anyway, I think what if that motherfucker comes back, finds us all and kills us while we're sleeping because we spared him? That's what I mean. That's happened a lot. It's such a difficult. It's always a risk to leave him alive, right? In this world, in The Walking Dead, how many times have they been like, "I'm gonna spare you"? Sometimes it works the Negan way. Sometimes it doesn't. That's all I'm saying. I think that's where it comes from. It's the safety of my. And usually, like let's say this: if it was just me, I think it'd be a lot easier to make a decision where it's like, you know what, it's just me that I'm risking my life for if I let this guy go. But I know, but still, what if they got out? What if they got out? What if they got out? It always happens sometimes. Sometimes it always happens sometimes. Then it bites him in the ass if you spare them. I'm just saying. If you got people that you care about, bro. Like I said, if I was just me out there in the world, I'll be like, all right, bro, if you come after me, I'm gonna find out and I'm gonna get you. But if it's like, bro, if I got my mama, if I got my dad, if I got, like I said, bro, it's fiction. They can. There's been, bro. If fucking Glenn could find a way out from under a fucking dumpster, being covered in walkers, anything could fucking happen. We're using the logic of the show and the game. Anything could happen. And I just like to think that the more people you have with you, the harder those merciful decisions become. Because if they do come back, have you ever read? I'm gonna continue the video. Don't worry, I'm almost finished. Have you ever read the Old Man Logan comic, the original one? You don't know that this worse has happened. This motherfucker don't. Have you ever watched all of The Walking Dead or any other fiction? Bro, how far did Abby go to find Ellie in The Last of Us Part 2? Exactly. Old Man Logan, right? So, long story short, Logan owes some money. He have to go far away from his family to get the money for the hoax gang. He comes back all the way back home. And by this time, he's refused to pop his claws because he killed the X-Men all those years ago because Mysterio made him see all that shit. And when he walks back, this image has always haunted me. See, you don't even get what I'm saying. You argumentative because you disagree, but I disagree with your disagreement. He walks back in, and this photo of him has always haunted me. Him just staring. He's staring on into the void, and his wife and kids are dead, and it's in his room, and he's just staring on. And it's like, bro, if I would have stayed here, if I would have fought for my family, if I would have not made this risk decision. Because the hoax gang came back because they got bored. It's like, wow. If it was just him, he probably wouldn't have fucked me, kill me. Why would I need the money? But because of his family, he come back, and then after that, it's nothing lost. So, like I'm saying, there's like just this situation or any other situation, anything could happen. Anybody can get lucky and escape. These walkers don't run. Shit. All I'm saying is it's a big risk. And some of those risks, I guess the way I grew up, what does it make you think of? The way I grew up, my dad always told me, and one thing, because I've reevaluated a lot what I've been taught growing up, because like sometimes, a lot of the times, it's wrong in my opinion. But one thing he always taught me is like always evaluate risks when it comes to the people you care about and the people that you love. And even when it like, and I took that as even when it looks bad to the outside, it's like it doesn't matter because you must prioritize the people that you care about. Otherwise, what do you have? Walkers don't run, but these hands don't either. Facts. You need to play The Wolf Among Us. It's all about hard decisions, but instead of reflecting bad on someone else, it's all on how people see you. You become the big bad and reforge your destiny or somewhat fair. You got to play it. All right, bet. Maybe I'll stream it soon. Fuck it.
After all, if your Lee allowed a young teenager to fall to his death, how different is he from Season 2's villain Carver, who also pushes people to their death from roofs?
All right, my fault. Again, that's going to be a completely different feel to The Walking Dead because that's not post-apocalyptic, right? This is all, my opinions on all of this is strictly post-apocalyptic setting where survival is key, right? The Wolf Among Us is not post-apocalyptic, so I might be more merciful there because it's like, hey, this ain't that serious, right? But also, if I'm Batman, I'm snapping Joker neck on first day, keep it a stack. I'll lock him up one time, as he get out and kill a bunch of people, I'm snapping his neck first day. Gotham gonna thank me. I'll do what Batman won't. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, bro. If I'm back, it has higher stakes. I don't know that, so don't spoil it. But yeah, if I'm Batman, bro, Joker gone first fucking day.
Season 2's villain Carver, who also pushes people to their death from roofs over mistakes. After a brief skirmish with the stranger, either you kill the stranger or Clementine will shoot and kill him to protect Lee, marking the moment that Clementine's innocence may have been permanently shattered. Ultimately, this journey reflects a core truth. Innocence is precious and
Alright, that made me want to cry seeing her face.
Worth protecting, yet the more we overextend ourselves to preserve it, the more we risk unintended harm. Too much innocence in this world can be fatal, as it was for Duck. In trying to protect innocence, we can lose sight of the line between protection and harm, forcing those closest to us to seek outlets, like Clementine's radio connection, to process what they can't say to us directly. So after all of this, is the value of innocence in a world gone dead completely redundant? Does Duck's death warn Lee that Clementine must abandon her childhood to survive? In a way, yes, but also no. Witnessing horrors and learning to protect oneself doesn't have to mean losing the essence of being a child. Shielding Clementine from everything might leave her unprepared and vulnerable. Chuck was absolutely right about this, but immersing her in unnecessary violence or a vengeful mindset risks turning her reckless and detached.
I fully agree. I fully agree. I fully agree. Yeah. I would have hated to seen Clementine turn into a monster because I'm like, oh shit, this motherfucker gotta die. It's like, it's just a thing, bro. Nah, it ain't no but. It's just a thing. It's just like, you think about it. You think about all of that. Like, yeah, I will do this until you realize, like, damn. Because I'm thinking now I'm thinking about, like, what if my nephew, my oldest nephew, him was in the apocalypse and I just started doing this shit to a motherfucker. And he's looking on and he doesn't understand the full concept of what happens and why I'm doing what I'm doing. All he sees is violence. I think most of this, like, I am considering, like, I'm the things that I said before. It's like I stand on like a lot of it still, but it's like doing it directly in front of him. Like that shit would change him for the worse. Yeah, I think it's different if you doing it out, not in front of. Like if he was doing the shit out and Clementine wasn't there, it's different. I still think, but the thing, everybody needs a little Shane. Everybody needs a little Shane inside of them. Pause. Everybody needs a little Shane because if you don't have it, you turn into Father Gabriel before he stopped being pussy. Facts. I agree. But yeah. Like if you ain't Shane, you Father Gabriel. But if you Father Gabriel, you know, I mean, you get what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say, I think Shane is the prime example of being like that, a fucking aggressor that people need in them that Rick didn't have before. The moment he got it, Rick became a better leader because he found, the thing is, Rick was a better leader in the end than Shane because he was able to make those difficult decisions while also being balanced about them in the long run, right? Yeah, you gotta find a perfect fucking balance, bro. Perfect balance, bro. Like if you, like when you had to kill the walker in front of her earlier, why did you do that? Or did you do that? Yeah, but she was a danger to us. If you can say that shit, maybe. But if you got the dude screaming and you beating his face in and he ain't even fighting you, like, yeah. That's rough. What if you're Gabriel running a cult? Holy crap, you are creepy ass shit. Walking around with that freaky ass smile, with that freaky ass collar on. I feel you. Yeah. You right. Not do a Carl, because Carl did that shit. Remember? Carl did that shit.
Or a vengeful mindset risks turning her reckless and detached, much like Jane in season 2. If the future of the world has any hope, it lies in preserving the love and compassion tied to innocence, while ensuring children like Clementine are equipped to face the dangers around them. Striking this delicate balance, Lee, who is both empathetic and resolute, gives Clementine her best shot at survival. It's about saving others when you can, but not at the expense of losing yourself or risking your life needlessly. It's about giving well-meaning people a chance to redeem themselves while also recognizing when others may be trying to manipulate you. Without Clementine's innocence, Lee could have completely lost himself, becoming a stone-hearted murderer with no reason to live. Throughout the game, there are countless opportunities for Lee to spiral into this darkness. Killing an unarmed and incapacitated Danny St. John is just one example, but no matter the choice you make in moments like these, Clementine's reaction always forces you to pause and reflect on your actions. This is the true value of innocence. Whether it resides within you or someone close to you, it acts as a compass, preventing actions that could harm those around you. Innocence keeps you grounded, reminding you of the differences between right and wrong. Most importantly, it reassures you that kind hearts still exist, hearts worth protecting, worth living for.
I'll miss you.
Me too.
Damn. Damn. That's your best video, homie. Heavy though. The heavy ending. Cause even just sitting there listening to myself back, I'm sitting there like, damn, like, bro, I sound like one of them evil like, not, I won't even say evil. I sound like one of those radical motherfuckers who was just like, oh, fuck, man. Like, I get it. Like, I just think in my head, I'd be like, risks. But it's also like, at the same time, it's like, mistakes are what make us human. I always talk about that, how, yeah, man, like, shit. I still do think that certain situations should be handled. I don't think that everything that Lee does, like, in a sense of trying to spare Clementine's in, I think sometimes he should, and then sometimes it's a balance, bro. Damn. I think what helped me was just thinking about if my nephew was with me and I was doing this shit in front of him, and it's like, oh shit. It's like, it's kind of like a thing where you don't let your guard down, but it's also like, don't make your nephew like, or your one you protect them afraid of you, because seeing you do that could teach them to do it, but they will also be afraid of you. Because what if, for example, damn, you got me with that. Because like, Ben made a mistake. What if Clem would have made a mistake and then she thinks, oh, Lee is gonna kill me now because I made a mistake, like Ben made a mistake. You're fucked. Can't do it. Holy shit.